Third phase of Moon.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins, and we're live taking your calls from around the world in regards to the UFO phenomenon happening right now. We just did a special on Third Phase in regards to NASA and their incredible photos that are leaked. They put out thousands of photographs over the week. We have UFO police out there scavenging over these photos meticulously, and they're coming up with incredible, evidence that we're not alone. We posted this up on Third Phase. We want everybody to take a look at that. The NASA anomalies on Mars, the International Space Station. We're spreading this on Third Phase of Moon, and we also wanted to say that Vladimir Putin says that the CIA created the Internet, and we're speaking on some kind of Internet, what he said was a project that the CIA started, and it's still a work in progress. Well, I guess we're all part of this CIA experiment, and Vladimir Putin says we have to work on this. Well, Vladimir's doing his own thing, but it's pretty interesting that a president will come out and maybe he's talking with Snowden. Snowden's giving him this information. He says that he's not getting information from Snowden, but this sounds like a straight-up Edward Snowden leak. But we want to take your calls from around the world in regards to the phenomenon happening right now. What's NASA up to? Have you captured a UFO yourself? We also have, I'm excited to say, Ed is with us. He's submitted incredible videos for the past month and a half, 2 months now. Brent Cousins is right here. It's going to be an exciting show. We got Ed, the new phenom of incredible videos coming in. But let's go to some callers before we get to Ed. They're building up right now. But let's start off to area code 626. Welcome to Third Phase. Where are you calling from? What's your name? 626, stand by. If you're there, you could come on in, but we're taking calls from around the world. Let's see if 914 is back with us. 914, where are you calling from? What's your name?
Yeah, how you doing, Blake? This is Ryan calling from outside New York City.
Hey, Ryan. Doing good tonight. What's going on in New York? Pretty late. What, about 12:05 in the morning?
Yeah, exactly. Just got done watching that latest video. Gentleman from the UK filmed something very interesting. That
yes,
it's very similar to stuff I see around here all the time.
Well, some people were saying the footage from the UK, we just posted it, a couple days ago, along with some other videos that he shot. And if you go to his channel, we'll be putting the link in the description below when we post this up on YouTube, Third Phase. But some people are saying the first shot is just basically an airplane or a helicopter, and they go, how could you, Blake, share this on Third Phase of Moon? It makes your credibility go to a lower level. You're not doing it right. But
no, that's not
true.
I'm
looking at the video myself. I find that this isn't no airplane. It's not a helicopter. It's not any type of flight characteristics I'm used to. What do you think, Ryan?
Exactly, and also there's been a lot of UFO sightings with lights similar to planes and helicopters, and you have this phenomenon of these morphing planes that start out as like orbs and slowly morph into like an airplane.
Well, the theory is that there's these alien craft that are visiting Earth on a constant basis, and the way they go about disguising themselves are as these airplanes. There's this lady out there, Allison Cruz from Pennsylvania, that's constantly the blinking lights, and they're morphing, and they're saying that, hey, this is alien technology, and they're just basically hiding in plain sight. What do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I'm seeing more and more of that, stuff that just, if somebody just takes a glance at it, they're going to think it's a regular plane or helicopter. But, if you look at these things long enough, you're noticing, stuff that's totally unconventional. Like you said, it's starting out, like as orbs, and I've seen videos where you get to see it just morphs into a plane or It's really crazy.
The phenomenon is worldwide, and I believe that if aliens wanted to disguise themselves as airplanes, they could do it very easily. And then it also could be the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, known as DARPA, and it's a United States Department of Defense project, and they have these top-secret classified aircraft that they're experimenting on all the time, and obviously they got to keep the secrets from the public, from the enemies. I totally concur. We also did a special update on some of these fantastic aircraft that they say they're conceptual designs, but I believe that there are they truly exist right now. Right?
Absolutely. You got to remember the military-industrial complex is easily 20, 30, 40 years ahead of us as far as technology is concerned. So all aspects of the military could have all kinds of crazy stuff that, we're just starting to see.
Right. I believe what you're saying is exactly right. We haven't even begun to see what they have in store for us. It's the tip of the iceberg. Let's go to phone calls. We know we have Ed. His incredible videos have been seen around the world, I think probably millions of times, and just within the past month. He's going to be joining us very shortly. But let's take some other callers. Stand by, Ryan. Thanks. Area code 702, you're live, Third Phase of Moon. Tell us where you're calling from, what's your name, and you got a UFO sighting you want to report or chime in. Go ahead, 702.
How are you, Blake? My name's Johnny. I'm with the Las Vegas Mojave UFO Hunters here locally. And
welcome to the show. How's the hunting going on over there?
Actually, we're getting some activity, but nothing we can really pinpoint. They're so far out in the distance. We really want to capture something close and distinguishable. But as far as the planes are concerned, I just had one of my co-hunters actually call me yesterday and told me about. Actually, I spoke with him today, and he said, I saw something really weird. He goes, these planes are coming in with their lights on, and they don't look like normal lights at all. And then he says when they come in almost over the city, they cut their lights off, and you can't see them at all. He goes, what was unusual about this one is that there's no blinkers after it goes off.
Some people compare them to Transformers more than meets the eye kind of thing. And they're constantly they reveal themselves and end up being retarded-like in their way of the way they, the lights aren't blinking, they're not following FAA regulations, then all of a sudden the lights stop. It's like, who's flying this aircraft?
And then it's off.
What's this? Go ahead, Johnny.
I was going to say, it would make sense as far as, could change as far as shape or anything, because technically they wouldn't have to change the shape of their ship, just the atmosphere, the anti-gravitational barrier, as far as what I'm studying so far, and that they can actually shift the anti-gravity field to do whatever they want it to do. So, yeah, it's possible they could transform that into what you're seeing.
Well, we're talking to Ed tonight, and he's going to explain to us a little bit about his theory. He says he's been aboard these craft. His videos are incredible. It's the biggest thing in the video evidence that we've seen in over a year now. We're not sure exactly if Ed's sending us real footage. We're not exactly sure. We're looking close in on it. We're pretty fine. We find it very intriguing. We're blowing up the videos, getting in very close, analyzing it down to the pixel, and we see no green screen of any sort. There's no CGI as far as what we're looking at. What we believe is that what we're seeing is something there, and we're not seeing any kind of strings attached. We just opened up with the Wiley one's music video, where we just presented that of a fan-filmed music video, and you could see puppeteering. You know what's fake and what's not. We find Ed's footage absolutely stunning. Have you been watching Third Phase of Moon's release of Ed's footage, Johnny?
Oh, most definitely. And as far as you're saying, is difference as far as megapixels, I've looked at it too as well. And, if it is a fake, it's going to be a very difficult one. But, I mean, you know, that's at this point it's to be determined.
Yeah, so you even see a certain light that appears on one of Ed's videos where it looks like a FAA light kind of blinking off and on, a red light, but it's definitely not a red light. It's just doing this thing that it's trying to stealth in plain sight. Johnny, keep us updated on your research over there, and I appreciate you keeping your eyes on the skies. And if you capture something amazing over there, where are you going to send it, Johnny?
On YouTube, on John Rawlings' channel. Easy enough.
Thanks, Johnny, and hopefully good luck on happy hunting. Stand by, and maybe you might have a chance to speak with Ed tonight and ask him a question in regards to his incredible videos. But we're going to take some other calls while Ed hopefully joins us. He says he's going to join us sometime around 6:30 Hawaii time. He's somewhere in the United States, and we're hoping he's going to join us. But let's take some calls right now. Area code 203, welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Do you have a UFO sighting you want to report? Chime in. Where are you calling from, and what's your name?
Hello?
Yeah, 203, you're live, Third Phase. This is Blake Cousins. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is, my name is Fernando Garcia. Yes, I hear that you got an interview with the guy that he say he is from the Majestic 12. I don't know. I'm not sure if he really was the guy from there, because every time that I say something about the UFOs, I mean, they come like they call the Men in Black to shut up the people, and they try to killing them, disappear, things like that. And how this guy, he comes to the show and asking anything about the UFOs. I mean, that's one thing that I want to say. The other thing is, I had a telescope and binoculars that sometimes I go outside in the night, and I see.
1 second, before we get to your UFO experience, you're explaining to the listeners and viewers right now about Mr. Tony Moreno. He called in a couple weeks ago on our radio show. It was one of the most controversial radio shows we had in a while, where a man by the man name of Tony Moreno claims he was the head of Majestic 12. He had a top secret clearance of 30, and he had a presidential order from Reagan and Bush that he was above national security and he could do whatever he wanted, and I could ask him whatever he wanted about UFOs. The problem is when we wanted to get information about the UFOs, he was just pretty much saying what's out there on the internet, and if he was in charge of Majestic 12, we would have hoped that he would have gave us something new, and that was a little bit of disappointment to myself and everybody that was listening. But hey, we're still open to Tony Moreno coming back on Third Phase Moon if he has new evidence, something that he could shock the world with, and at least participate in something as submitting evidence. What do you think about that, Mr. Garcia? Go ahead.
Well, that's the one thing that I'm seeing it, right? Because a lot of people they try to scare and to say you don't have to say anything. Now, I've been experienced a couple of times. I've been seeing the UFOs where I live, but I don't have the equipment to tape it and send it to somebody else. I mean, I subscribe to your to the YouTube that you had the Third Phase of Moon, and I like it. But, I mean, there's nobody to talk about it, because every time that I try to talk to somebody, they laugh about me or make me feel like I'm crazy or something like that. And I don't talk with nobody about these things, just I keep it by myself. But when you see it like it's steady on the air, but it's moving slow forward. And another thing, I don't know if you have time for me, but I can explain another time. When I was living in Connecticut, I had one experience, something that when I was sleeping, I had my little dog on my side, and I lay down. I ended up lay down on the sofa, and my little dog, he was next to me. When I opened my eyes, because I feel like if somebody's putting pressure on my chest, and I can't even move. I was laying down my right hand to the floor, and when I open my eyes, I see my dog next to my feet, and from my waist down, my legs, they were shaking up and down like crazy, but I can't even move. The only thing I try to do is call my wife, but it feels like nothing is coming out from my mouth. So I close my eyes and I start praying. And when I open it, I saw a light, like a triangle, very bright light from cover me from the bottom to the top to the ceiling, like a triangle. And I see a small shape, like a ghost, next to me. And the only thing that I feel it was sweating a lot. I can't even move. And every time that I try to talk to somebody, they say, oh, that's because you don't go to the church. You got to do this, you got to do that. And I didn't talk to anybody anymore. But I like to see your show, and I hear a lot of things. And hopefully one day I can catch up one of those UFOs, and I can send it to you.
Mr. Garcia, we appreciate you just explaining what it's all about right here at Third Phase of the Moon. We're all here to listen to stories. People out there are ridiculed out there in the public. People are hateful about the truth. They don't want to wake up that we're not alone in the universe. And Third Phase of the Moon is a place to share your stories and not be ridiculed. And you're part of the Third Phase of the Moon family. We've all experienced incredible things ourselves. So, Mr. Garcia, when we do or somebody captures a UFO, I hope they do deliver it to us. And I want you to stand by, Mr. Garcia, because we're having a special guest on. I'm hoping he joins us a little bit later, Ed, who's been submitting incredible videos to us right here at Third Phase of the Moon. We're just hoping that he shows up. Everybody could ask him the questions, what's it like to be in a UFO and all this. Maybe we'll get some answers. Mr. Garcia, stand by. Now let's go to some other callers that have been waiting, if they're on the line. Anonymous, you got some new relevant information. You got 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Sure, yes, I do. What I believe what will unfold in the near future is there will be a civil war of sorts, wherein the Zeta Reticulan human hybrids that have been created are extremely human-looking, so much so that you couldn't tell one apart from us other than their character or demeanor. And what I believe will happen is they're going to make an overt presence at some point in the future, in the near future, and this will obviously shatter some of the religious beliefs and will cause a lot of controversy. And what they're going to do, I believe, is they're going to tempt people into a philosophy in which you do not have to be forgiven for your sins, because, of course, this will challenge the church and the religions. So they are going to attempt to pull people into their paradigm of belief systems in which one does not have to be forgiven for what they've done, for any evil they perpetrate or anything like that. And they will want to manipulate people into these systems in an attempt to convince people to leave behind the older ways of thinking, the religious ways of thinking, and this will cause an internal division on the planet, and there will be Christians and there will just be people of good character who aren't religious who will end up in a war of sorts with other people. And this will be what's called the tribulation. And I believe this will unfold in the near future. And right now they're attacking me on a regular basis with these synthetic telepathy attacks, and they're attacking other people I know of. They're even attacking children. So I'd ask people who are listening if they ever want to, because these ETs are monitoring people all over the planet, if you ever want to just say, hey, we know what you're doing, and we're going to hold you accountable for it. Myself and others I know would surely appreciate it, because these ETs are very fearful. They're cowards, and they know that a lot of people are waking up and are aware of what they're doing. So I would surely appreciate it if people would keep that in their hearts and minds on behalf of myself and others.
Thank you, Anonymous. We'd like to get the word out and appreciate you keeping it down to a couple minutes. The microwave blast People have said that ET is, evil, and we should not back down as cowards to them. I'm thinking that, there's good and bad aliens, and just like there are good and bad humans out there. Let's go to other callers right now. We're live, standing by for Ed calling in, sharing his stories in regards to his incredible videos. But let's go to area code 469. Welcome, you're live, Third Phase of Moon. Tell us what your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Blake, this is Sammy calling from Dallas. Can you hear me?
Sam, yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Go ahead. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you in a while. I don't know if you remember me. I had called in probably about 6 shows ago. But I always love listening to you guys, and it's just so hard for me to tune in at 10 o'clock. I was timing it. I was watching the counter go down 48 minutes until the show started. But I love the show, and I love everything you guys do. I just had some, really interesting things to talk about, and I just kind of want to know how much time I have to talk or what's the time frame.
Right, hey, thanks for joining Third Phase Moon, Sam. Appreciate you watching. We got famous abductee, incredible videos. He's coming on the show. He hasn't arrived yet, so you have as long as it is until Ed joins us.
Okay. Because I just have
some
really, and I think that you are really instrumental because you've built such a big following with your brother, and a lot of people are really proud of you and seeing what you're doing. I mean, you're just getting more and more exposure. And that can be good and bad, you know what I mean? And so really what I wanted to kind of discuss was, Anonymous calls in and talks about some interesting things. And, a lot of people, there's like a split kind of, there's been some clashes when he's called in, where people are like, I've had very positive experience with extraterrestrials or, UFOs. And, some people have had these negative experiences. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but in the city tap water, if you take a shower in city tap water, there's really high amounts of chlorine in it. And the chlorine is so bad for your skin and for your eyes. But what's interesting is it absorbs into your brain and can remove parts of the pineal gland, which is the third eye, and not to mention lots of fluoride and stuff. So I just wanted all the listeners to know, this is an alert. This is an alert for everybody. If you haven't put a filter on your shower, you're vaporizing chlorine gas in levels higher that are in swimming pools into your lungs and into your body. And that's hurting a lot of people. And I think you do a great job at it. But I would just say, please get a little bit more into, helping people heal their bodies and not like Alex Jones. I don't know if you listen to him, but you know how he's selling all these health supplements or whatever lately?
Yeah, I watch Alex Jones, and he's selling the supplements, like you say, and he focuses on this kind of subject matter. What do you want from us right here?
But listen, he sells the water filter, the water purifiers for people to drink, like the Berkey water purifiers, but he never tells anybody about the shower, or he never talks about, healing your third eye and stuff like that. And that's what I'm saying.
I think we just lost them, and we will be at Third Phase of Moon covering possible poisoned waters. Hey, why not? If somebody thinks that there's injustice going on and we don't know about it, and there's something that needs to get out to the world, we'll share it on Third Phase of Moon. So all you Third Phase of Moon nights, go after anything that you think that there's injustice going on, and we'll try and get the word out if we can. Ed just joined us right here at Third Phase of Moon, and I wanted to welcome to the show. But my first question, Ed, is what's it like to be on a UFO? And again, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me again, Blake. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. I'm glad you guys enjoyed my last submission that I sent to you guys. And I know a lot of people have been asking about why are my segments so short. I just wanted to tell you I have all these archival footage, but most of the stuff I shot was shot on film. And when you're shooting film, you do field edits. You're not rolling film like it's just digital stuff and you can just go. You have to be conservative with what you're shooting. But I have a lot of stuff, and I continue to send it, and I hope you're people watching and listening enjoy watching, seeing the stuff that I have, and I'll continue to release it. It's a lot of stuff.
Again, Ed, I really want to get down to the details. This video you just sent us is incredible, and you were explaining earlier to me that this is wasn't shot on film, but on a VHS, and you were just shortly taken on board right after this video?
The footage I shot you that you saw that I went on the craft afterward, that's the right time period. But I was shooting film before this time appeared. I was shooting film back in the late 1960s. And I have video, I think I have film archival footage of alien footage. And when I shot the last segment that you saw that I said that I went on the craft at that time, that is right. That was when that happened.
Ed, let me get more detail. What I want to get down to, what does it feel like to be on board this flying saucer, this alien craft, the man or this alien that you say Voss guided you? Was he on board this? And again, can you tell us what's it like to be on board the aircraft?
Well, I started to talk to you about it before, Blake, and just briefly, it is something that's familiar but different as well, because you got to understand that the experiences are something that happened many, many years ago, but it is a part of my life that I do remember vividly. But at the same time, it just seems to be all in step with what's happening today in the world.
We're getting a little bit of breakup right here on the radio show. If everybody could silence their phones as best as they possibly can. But if anybody wants to chime in, we got Ed on the line. If anybody wants to ask Ed a question in regards to his experiences, abductions, the videos that he shares right here on Third Phase Moon, the lines are open.
Yeah, I have a question.
Ed. Okay, go ahead. Tell us your area code first, and then go ahead with the question.
I'm actually a truth seeker. You did some.
Truth seeker.
Yes.
What area code are you calling from? Just the area code. Go ahead.
07013. I'm calling from Clifton, New Jersey.
It's 701.
I got a question. Have you, when you're inside these crafts, what kind of technology are you seeing?
I'm not an expert in technology or diagnosing or telling you exactly what kind of engineering specs or technology. That's not my experience or my expertise at all. I couldn't answer that question in an intelligent way.
All right, I was just wondering if you, ever saw anything that you can equate to, our technology or back engineering or anything like that. That was just one of the things I was interested in.
I think I mentioned before to Blake that my experience was based on, recollection of what it was like to be on the craft. And my recollection of that is not one based on a scientific explanation, but more of an experience in terms of just the way time was moving and my experience in that. And that.
Do you have?
What was in terms of time that I was gone and the time that I was there.
Ed standing by.
No, I just was wondering if about the technology. That's all. Not that was basically about it. And I just wanted to call in and thank you too, for having, just doing what you do, putting the truth out there, and not being scared and putting, my picture that I sent you. I got my own YouTube channel, Truth Seeker, and I go through these Mars photos, and I spend a lot of time doing it, and I found some real crazy stuff that just doesn't make sense, and you try to get an answer from NASA, and it's, where that goes. It just goes nowhere. I've probably sent, in my years of doing this, probably 1,000 emails to NASA, and I've gotten maybe like 5 responses, and basically they weren't even to the questions I was asking, so I just, kind of just hit a brick wall.
Wow, True Seeker, I appreciate that you were calling in to Third Phase of Moon, and you did give us the heads up about a week ago about this machine on the surface of Mars, and we were standing by because we were thinking this is incredible footage, but we wanted to have some more information coming in regards to that from other people around the world, and there's a lot of anomalies that just came in this past month from Mars, so we thought it would be a perfect time for to share your hard work that you've done. What's the response? You said you had 5 response letters back from NASA after you've written them 500 times trying to get an answer. What was some of that?
Probably over the years of doing this, and I'll just get generic responses to enjoy our website. It's a great age of discovery, and they'll give me a link to the website where I'm getting the pictures. I mean, it just absolutely no response to the question I'm sending them. I'll send them a picture of something that I think is a beautiful statue, and asking them to maybe check it out, or if they have other photos they can send me, or links to other photos for maybe other angles, and just absolutely no response. It's like talking to a wall.
How do you go about? Do you go you just look over these pictures that NASA releases from the Curiosity methodically? Just you're hunting out frame by frame, zooming in. How do you go about this investigation and this work that you do?
Well, what I do is I take every day. I'm on the computer. I have I got a laptop and just a regular home computer that's nothing fancy, but it's just basically used for that. And every day I download the pictures. I'll go through them and I'll see maybe 5-6 hours a day, sometimes longer. And if I find something that I think's interesting, I'll make a short video and then I'll put it up on my 70-inch screen. And then I'll go through it from there, and I could just start, after a while you just get an eye for these things, and you could see there's a lot of manipulation in these pictures. There's black blocking of things. There's things actually behind the black blocking. You could see, the edges of it. There's another guy that does these videos, Will, at What's Up in the Sky 37, and he says to me he thinks that a lot of this is done by computer, that it's just a computer program that's just blocking, and that maybe there's a couple people at NASA that just fill in some of these things. That's how some of these things get through. And over the years, I've noticed that it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I've seen what seems to be, statues, people, mechanical things. I have a picture that I'm working on now, a video that I'm going to release that I think is groundbreaking. It actually shows actual life on Mars, insects. One of them looks like a gigantic fly. Another one's a little worm. I'm probably going to maybe do something with you guys. I'll email you, and maybe we'll do a release, and we'll get this out there. We'll see if we could shake it up and maybe get a response, because what I'll show you is just amazing. I've been sitting on it for a little bit. I just didn't know what to do with the information, but I think maybe I'll do something with you guys, because I just love what you guys do. I mean, you're not scared of nobody. You put it out there, and you let everybody else, make up their mind. You don't try to sway people one way or another. You put the info out there, and you search for the truth. That's basically what I'm doing, and it's tough, in a government and a United States and a world that we live in. It's like nobody. Nobody wants to help you. Everybody's scared. The news channels, the newspapers. I called Channel 4 News in New York, and you would have thought that I was talking about bombs. You would have thought that I was talking, like I was a terrorist or something. Nobody wants to talk to you. It's unbelievable. You would figure people want this information.
They do talk about it every once in a while. Like there's obvious phenomenon or anomalies on these photographs from Curiosity, like that one just recent photo that we posted on Third Phase of Moon of the apparition or a light out there. But then they'll always start out with giggling about, could there be life or was there, and then end it with a laughter and a snide remark and a
like it's a joke, like they're making fun of us. It's like they're making fun of us.
Why don't they explain it already?
Yeah. I mean, that picture I sent you is a clear-cut. I mean, to me, I've examined it many different ways. There's actually shadows coming off that piece. There's pieces coming out of it that are leaving shadows on the ground. It's not a reflection off the top of the rock. I examined it in Photoshop, on 70-inch TVs, high-definition video. I mean, that rover, the pictures that are coming down now, it's absolutely disgusting. Billions of dollars. And we're getting pictures. I can get a better picture I got probably a 10-year-old digital camera. It's horrible. And the pictures are actually getting worse, the quality. And I've noticed that some of the older pictures on the website, they're doing something to them, and they're backing the resolution off. I don't know if they're doing it because us guys are going through them. It's just very, very strange. I've had a lot of problems with my videos on YouTube. Some people can only get them at 360. They can't even watch my videos in high definition. I've had my computer hacked twice. Some weird cars following me, since I started doing this. I mean, I've been going through these pictures and studying this kind of stuff for over 20 years. The last 3 months, I decided, you know what? I got to get off my butt. I got to put my stuff out there, and I just have to. I can't be scared. And I got family and friends that support me. They see what I'm doing, and it's a little scary putting yourself out there like that. But I have to get this information out there. I mean, not everything I show is an anomaly. Maybe some of them could be rocks, but you know what? Just that one has to be real, Blake, and it changes the whole game. Just one of them. I could put 1,000 anomalies out there, but just one has to be real, and it changes the whole game. Because I believe Mars is populated. The pictures that we see don't even resemble what I think is up there, and it's sad. It's really sad that part of our history is being withheld from us.
Absolutely.
But I do have something that I think is groundbreaking, and I'm going to contact you through your email, and we'll do something together, and we'll release it, and we'll see if we could shake this thing up a little, because guys like us are not going away.
Let's shake it up, Truth Seeker. We'll be standing by for your continuing investigation about the Mars and its possible life out there. I believe something's going on. These photographs that you've shared and all these other photographs going around by the UFO police keeping a close eye. There's something going on Mars, and I don't think we're being told the 100% truth. We have a few minutes left. Truth Seeker, you keep in touch via my email. Let's go to area code 619. We're just about to wrap up the show, but did you have anything to say in regards to what we just showed? Ed, we still have Ed on the phone. Any questions for Ed? Area code 619. We're live right now, third phase of moon.
No, I'm actually just listening, thanks. It's interesting. Thank you. I'm just listening.
That's cool, area code 619. Well, basically, I think that is the end of the show. Ed has just dropped out. There's a lot of stuff going on around the world in regards to the UFO phenomenon. We just released what's going on Mars, the International Space Station. We're talking about footage from all over the world. We're going to share it right here at Third Phase of Moon. Everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. And if you capture something incredible, we want to see it on Third Phase of Moon because we are the world's largest UFO channel in the world. We have 160,000 subscribers today, approaching 100 million views worldwide, and that's just on YouTube alone. We know we're doing something, and we are shaking it up, just like the Truth Seeker said. So, Third Phase Moon, we got a few minutes, just an extended radio show, 336, you're live, Third Phase Moon. You got anything to report? We got 5 minutes. Go ahead.
With whom am I speaking again, please, sir?
This is Blake Cousins, Third Phase of Moon. Go ahead, you're live.
Oh,
you got 5 minutes.
Down. All right. How you doing, Blake? Just to stay as anonymous as I can, I'm going to go by a handle, Buck. And, I never did report this one sighting, and it was a multiple witness sighting.
Go ahead,
happened in 2008, the summer. We were driving home late. I'm from North Carolina, by the way. And we were driving home very late from Greensboro, north 220. When we hit the last stoplight in Summerfield going north, we saw this really cool-looking amber light, and because of so many radio towers, we thought perhaps another one was going up somewhere or had gone up. And about 10 minutes up the road, and mind you, we're doing 55. This thing is coming down out of the sky, really, at a really nice even pace. And when we get to this little side road that branches off to the right, or going east rather, we were right beside of one of these really huge black triangle craft that had a really, really huge, and mind you, I'm an aviation professional. I make my living in aviation. And I had never seen anything like that in my life. And I'd wondered perhaps whether, and I check you guys on YouTube a lot, and look for, and it wasn't a strobing light like an anti-collision beacon or anything. It was pulsating, if you get my meaning there, kind of like a heartbeat. But just you know, and I never did report it. And all three, my wife and my kid and I at the time, saw it. I slowed down, and wouldn't you know, I didn't have a camera.
Oh man.
It was just, and I've never seen anything like it since. And like I said, I'm familiar with all manner of aircraft. By the way, I'm also an A&P, or an aircraft or airframe and power plant mechanic, and a pilot. And
right. So basically, what do you think? What do you think you saw? What do your family members think of your story?
Well, you know, my family was there with me. We were all in the car together, and we all saw it. Yeah, all three of us. And I of course, you know, like I said, we didn't report it to MUFON or anybody. And being an aviation professional, you really don't want to rock any kind of boats and get anybody on you or anything. And I've heard all kinds of horror stories about such things as that. But you know, I tell you, I looked over YouTube and discovered this thing called the TR-3B. You know, and I subscribe to Aviation Week. There's never any kind of coverage on things like that. But you know, I just wanted to tell anybody out there that might be listening that has seen these things that they are seeing them. I've seen them.
Buck, you got to hold on. Unfortunately, we have only a minute left, and we're just running out of time right here at Third Phase Moon. But do you mind if we call you back? We have your phone number listed, Buck, and if you could come back maybe next Friday, we could ask you in questions in regards to what maybe happened to Malaysia and more details about your incredible UFO experience. How's that sound, Buck?
Well, that sounds okay. I can't make any promises, of course, because of my schedule. I'm also the after-hours guy where I work. So, I mean, it's kind of really hard to say, but I appreciate you letting me vent about that, because I'm telling you, even after all these years, I just can't quit thinking about that night. It was, and other people that are seeing these, they are seeing them. They're there. I've seen them. And I'm an aviation professional, so, you know, I'm hoping to put a whole lot of people's minds at ease. They're not crazy.
People like you confirm that people that have UFO experiences aren't crazy, and the world is waking up to this. Buck, thanks a lot for joining us right here at Third Phase Moon, and we love people's stories that they share right here live on the radio. Buck, keep your eyes on the skies and have your camera ready next time.
I sure will. Thank you a lot, sir.
Thank you. Everybody, stand by. Third Phase.
By popular demand, we are pleased to announce the Third Phase of Moon album is finally featured on iTunes. With all your favorite songs and themes you hear on the top UFO channel on YouTube, Third Phase of Moon. Out of This World soundtracks composed by master artist Paul Barrett. 12 remastered and extended cuts to enjoy. Download them now, exclusive on iTunes. Click the link in the description below. Now listen for yourself, heard by millions around the world, Paul Barrett's album, Third Phase of Moon.
It'll be an exciting show. We got Ed, the new phenom of incredible videos coming in. But let's go to some callers before we get to Ed. They're building up right now, but let's start off to area code 626. Welcome to Third Phase. Where are you calling from? What's your name? 626, stand by. If you're there, you could come on in, but we're taking calls from around the world. Let's see if 914 is back with us. 914, where are you calling from? What's your name?
Yeah, how you doing, Blake? This is Ryan calling from outside New York City.
Hey, Ryan. Doing good tonight. What's going on in New York? Pretty late. What's up? 12:04 5 in the morning?
Yeah, exactly. Just got done watching that latest video. Gentleman from the UK filmed something very interesting. That
yes,
it's very similar to stuff I see around here all the time.
Well, some people were saying the footage from the UK, we just posted it, a couple days ago, along with some other videos that he shot. And if you go to his channel, we'll be putting the link in the description below when we post this up on YouTube, Third Phase. But some people are saying the first shot is just basically an airplane or a helicopter, and they go, how could you, Blake, share this on Third Phase of the Moon? It makes your credibility go to a lower level. You're not doing it right. But
no, that's not true.
Looking at the video myself, I find that this isn't no airplane. It's not a helicopter. It's not any type of flight characteristics I'm used to. What do you think, Ryan?
Exactly. And also there's been...
And it's United States Department of Defense project, and they have these top-secret classified aircraft that they're experimenting on all the time. And obviously they got to keep the secrets from the public, from the enemies. I totally concur. We also did a special update on some of these fantastic aircraft that they say they're conceptual designs, but I believe that they truly exist right now, right?
Absolutely. You got to remember the military-industrial complex is easily 20, 30, 40 years ahead of us as far as technology is concerned. So all aspects of the military could have all kinds of crazy stuff that we're just starting to see.
Right, I believe what you're saying is exactly right. We haven't even begun to see what they have in store for us. It's the tip of the iceberg. Let's go to phone calls. We know we have Ed. His incredible videos have been seen around the world, I think probably millions of times, and just within the past month, he's going to be joining us very shortly. But let's take some other callers. Stand by, Ryan. Thanks. Area code 702, you're live, Third Phase of Moon. Tell us where you're calling from, what's your name, and you got a UFO sighting you want to report or chime in. Go ahead, 702.
How are you, Blake? My name's Johnny. I'm with the Las Vegas Mojave UFO Hunters here locally. And
welcome to the show. How's the hunting going on over there?
Actually, we're getting some activity, but nothing we can really pinpoint. They're so far out in the distance. We really,
a lot of UFO sightings with lights similar to planes and helicopters. And, you have this phenomenon of these morphing planes that, start out as like orbs and, slowly morph into like an airplane.
Well, the theory is that there's these alien craft that are visiting Earth on a constant basis, and the way they go about disguising themselves are as these airplanes. There's this lady out there, Allison Cruz from Pennsylvania, that's constantly the blinking lights, and they're morphing, and they're saying that, hey, this is alien technology, and they're just basically hiding in plain sight. What do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I'm seeing more and more of that, stuff that just, if somebody just takes a glance at it, they're going to think it's a regular plane or helicopter. But, if you look at these things long enough, you're noticing, stuff that's totally unconventional. Like you said, it's starting out, like as orbs, and I've seen videos where you get to see it just morphs into a plane, or it's really crazy.
The phenomenon is worldwide, and I believe that if aliens wanted to disguise themselves as airplanes, they could do it very easily. And then it also could be the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, known as DARPA.
I want to capture something close and distinguishable. But as far as the planes are concerned, I just had one of my co-hunters actually call me yesterday and told me about, actually I spoke with him today, and he said, I saw something really weird. He goes, these planes are coming in with their lights on, and they don't look like normal lights at all. And then he says when they come in almost over the city, they cut their lights off, and you can't see them at all. He goes, what was unusual about this one is that there's no blinkers after it goes off.
You know, some people compare them to Transformers more than meets the eye kind of thing. And they're constantly they reveal themselves and end up being retarded-like in their way of the way they, you know, the lights aren't blinking, they're not following FAA regulations, and all of a sudden the lights stop. It's like, who's flying this aircraft?
And then it's off.
What's this? Go ahead, Johnny.
I was going to say, I mean, it would make sense as far as, like, could change as far as shape or anything, because technically they wouldn't have to change the shape of their ships, just the atmosphere, the anti-gravitational barrier, as far as what I'm studying so far, and that they can actually shift the anti-gravity field to do whatever they want it to do. So, yeah, it's possible they could transform that into what you're seeing.
Well, we're talking to Ed tonight, and he's going to explain to us a little bit about his theories.
Third phase of moon.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins, and we're live taking your calls from around the world in regards to the UFO phenomenon happening right now. We just did a special on Third Phase in regards to NASA and their incredible photos that are leaked. You know, they put out thousands of photographs over the week. We have UFO police out there scavenging over these photos meticulously, and they're coming up with incredible, you know, evidence that we're not alone. We posted this up on Third Phase. We want everybody to take a look at that. The NASA anomalies on Mars, the International Space Station. We're spreading this on Third Phase of Moon, and we also wanted to say that Vladimir Putin says that the CIA created the Internet, and we're speaking on some kind of Internet, what he said was a project that the CIA started, and it's still a work in progress. Well, I guess we're all part of this CIA experiment, and Vladimir Putin says we have to work on this. Well, Vladimir's doing his own thing, but it's pretty interesting that a president will come out and maybe he's talking with Snowden. Snowden's giving him this information. He says that he's not getting information from Snowden, but this sounds like a straight-up Edward Snowden leak. But we want to take your calls from around the world in regards to the phenomenon happening right now. What's NASA up to? Have you captured a UFO yourself? We also have, I'm excited to say, Ed is with us. He's submitted incredible videos for the past month and a half, 2 months now. Brent Cousins is right here. It's going to